Hey there, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by Galadon Gaming. Some more Slither action and a move I like to call the Suicide Squeeze. Now, this is one of my favorite moves, although it is definitely one of the most risky and dangerous moves in the game. It is a way you are completely committed to taking your opponent down, but at the risk of losing yourself. As you see, what happens is I'm turning into the opponent, and there's no way, if he doesn't get destroyed, that I'm not going to get ended right there. It is risking everything to take your opponent down. So we'll take a look at it once again as I stalk this yellow guy right here, and eventually I will turn in so sharply that if I didn't get him at that point, I was done. So you are committing everything, and it is extremely risky. But once you get the hang of it and you know exactly when your opponent is going to run into you, and more importantly, the fact that he will run into you before you run into him, then you can pull it off. So I'm going to stalk this white silver guy and eventually pull up alongside him right here and commit to it right there. Oh, I was going for sure. I was gone for sure. Did he not run into me? He runs into me first, and I pull off another suicide squeeze. Now, of course, this move is much easier to do when you're smaller and you're going after a very big opponent who can't turn quickly, like this poor guy right here. I turn in, and he goes down a double. There was another guy that ran into him at the same moment, but I grabbed him. Let's take a look at that one again in slow motion. Here I come around the corner. I've committed at this point. It's all or nothing. I just barely get in front of him, and at the last second, he goes down just before I run into him, and I grab all that mass. So as you can see, the size is really important to being able to pull off a suicide squeeze. You need to be small and mobile. Those quick, fast turns and accelerations are key to being successful with a suicide squeeze. Here, I'm just getting too big, and instead of suicide squeezing somebody else, somebody is coming after me, and here he goes. He's trying for it, but no, I've turned into myself at just the last second and avoid getting taken out myself. Now, while you can be too big to pull a suicide squeeze, you can also be too small. You've got to have enough length so that you have time to accelerate around the head of your opponent. Here, I'm going to pick up some free mass, never turn down free mass, and now I'm just about the ideal size, and here it is. He runs into me just a split second before I run into him, again in slow motion, turning in. It's all or nothing at this point. There is no going back, but he has no chance. He cannot turn as quickly as I can, and he goes down. Another one bites the dust. All right, here is another example, and this time I'm picking up free mass once again, and a head-on collision ensues, but I accelerate through it. Get ready for it right here. But I was accelerating. I take him out because I was accelerating. Now there's free mass all over the place, and another suicide squeeze, taking out the other snake there, and I'll pick him up as well. All right, moving on to another example, back to the red, white, and blue. This time I'm about the same size as the guy I'm going to go up against right here. Again, committing to it, wrapping around. I was dead for sure, but managed to get him to run into me first. And now this white and blue guy, he is stealing my mass. Again, we talked about stealing my work. I call it cheating. If I go to all the effort to do that, then you should not be taking it. So we lure him in and we take him out. Maybe not exactly a suicide squeeze, but I kind of coiled up to make him think that he could wrap around me. And sure enough, he went for the bait and I took him down. Punishment! Punishment for trying to steal my hard work. Now right here, very small, going up against a big guy. This is so dangerous. I'm racing. I don't know how I survived right here. Don't know how I got out of that, but the suicide squeeze got out of it, made him pay, and the giant red guy goes down. He was so much bigger than me, and I don't know, just racing down that lane between those two snakes, I thought for sure I was history, but I'm doing it again. I don't know what I'm thinking. So crazy, not a great idea. That guy goes down, and I keep on. I figure, why not press my luck? We'll just keep going back and just go crazy. When I'm small like this, I usually take a little bit bigger risks. Those paid off, and I gained a lot of quick mass. So here's the beginning of yet another game, and watch how fast this happens in just a couple of minutes. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, I forgot to name myself in this game. It's my similar skin, but I forgot to type in Galadon on YouTube. So disappointing. Who would have known that I would grow so incredibly quickly right here? Now, right here, it's mostly picking up free mass, and then sort of a suicide squeeze. I was going right into the clutches of that guy. He went down. I've got all sorts of mass, people going down left and right, dogs and cats living together. It is complete mayhem, and I've grown so big so fast that now I'm just about that ideal size to find another victim. But of course, the little guys are looking to take me down. And then right here, the big purple guy, here it comes, Suicide Squeeze. He is gone. I pick up all that mass, going to race to try to pick it up. And you can see it's just such a huge traffic jam. So many other guys in the area. This guy, oh, just barely turning around that guy. There's like 3 snakes right here. He goes down. I had a chance to coil and surround those guys, but instead I went back for the mass. And sure enough, one after the other, these snakes keep going down. And again and again and again, they're running into each other. They're running into me. I'm picking up mass, just barely missing, running into the little guys. And before you know it, check out this double accidental takedown right here. They're all right inside of my grasp, so I can just encircle all of this and just rest. I don't have to rush to take it. Nobody else can steal it from me because it is all inside. And there it is. I have popped up on the leaderboards, shot straight up to number 6. And number 6 with a bullet. I am continuing to gain mass. Now I'm number 5. More mass around here, just barely missing getting taken down. And as you can see, it is just such a crazy center of the server right here. But again, I've got it encircled. I don't have to rush. I can very casually take this as long as I make sure that I don't get so small that somebody else can wrap me up. So while this episode has been about suicide squeezing, you can see here I am shooting on my way towards number 1. And what I'm going to show here is how to constrict other players, but don't put yourself at risk to get constricted yourself. You've probably seen it time and time again. The big guy is around a smaller guy, and that big guy gets encircled by somebody even bigger than him. And that happens a lot because obviously you're making yourself very vulnerable to get trapped when you're trapping somebody else. So one of the keys is to not make yourself too small. If you have extra room, if you're so much bigger than the other guy that you can use it to your advantage, then maybe you can take it and make a bigger circle. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I am sorry, Fungus, but you've fallen into my trap. There it goes. Now, instead of just focusing on getting smaller and smaller and smaller, I'm going to head out to the left here for a little bit and then turn around because I know the rest of my body is more than long enough to keep him encircled. There it is. He goes down, and I did not put myself at risk for getting taken out. Now watch me pinch this guy off against the guy next to him. He is gone, just using the tiny snake to take him down. Dead end, and I've got more mass, and this mass right here pushes me to number 1. So in just a couple of minutes, I have shot to number 1, but I'm not done. We are going to encircle one more guy. Here it is. He is constricted. And again, rather than just doing the tight coils, I'm wandering off to the left and then eventually going to come back and make a pass through the center to close it off and make it even smaller. But again, not going straight in and just coiling myself up until I'm completely wound. I'm going to continue to move off to the left to keep my size bigger so that I'm not an easy target or a visual target. If people see that, they're more likely to come in and try to take me down. Moving off to the right, waiting for that guy to make the mistake, and sure enough, by the time I come back this time, he is just about done. One more pass, making the circle even tighter. There you can see wandering off to the left, and he's expired. He is down, just a matter of not hitting the little tiny guy right there, almost. And then as I go to collect him, another guy has been wrapped up. And this yellow guy, sorry buddy, but he is going to fall victim to the same trap. And once again, I'll wander off outside, away from the coil, away from the constriction, and then move in and make it even tighter. He tries to get me, doesn't quite work out, and yet another snake falls victim to the Gala constriction. Thank you guys again, as always, for sticking around all the way to the end of this episode. Hope you guys are enjoying Slither like I am. It is definitely a good time killer and near the top of my favorite games right now, but let me know what else you would like to see. Should we play some more Battle Cats? Should we do Hungry Shark World? I don't know. I'll let you guys decide down in the comments, and until next time, get out there and make every attack a full attack.
Galadon. Hey partner, you're a low down dirty snake. See what I did there? A Western accent. I sound just like you.